Hello and how's it going, everyone? It is Skullzi here with the latest Bethesda news, rumors, and speculation. Originally today I had a video where I was going to break down small but still very interesting and recent discoveries regarding Bethesda and Bethesda Softworks as a whole. However, we got another one of those old-fashioned 4chan leaks like Mama used to make. I don't know what your mom's been doing if she's been making 4chan leaks, but I mean, I guess whatever makes her happy. Strange family, but nonetheless, like usual, I try to not talk about these leaks on the channel because 90% of the time they're fake. Even if they have a lot of credible evidence, they still somehow can turn out to be fake, as we've learned in the past. However, like I've talked about in a previous video and like you've probably seen on Twitter and stuff, I did do a poll asking you all if you want me to talk about these leaks, even if I do think they're fake right from the beginning, and the majority of you voted that you would still prefer me to talk about and cover these leaks, even if I do think they're fake. And even some of you that voted no actually commented below and changed your mind and said for me to just still cover them, but just to break them down and make fun of them and destroy them. So we're going to be doing kind of something like that in today's video because it's another 4chan leak, only this 4chan leak has the entirety of the Bethesda E3 showcase lineup, and it is very interesting. There's a couple of credible things in this, a couple of red flags in this. However, it still might make sense. When it comes to these kind of leaks, this one isn't inherently fake, but like I said, you always got to take this with a dose of speculation salt, and anyone that is a fan of Bethesda news and speculation probably has a pretty big tolerance to speculation salt right now, so I suggest you mix your speculation salt in a little bit of skooma and pour it in your eye or an open wound or something that'll immediately let it kick in, because you're gonna need it for today's video, and I'm gonna need Daedric glasses. Bam! Ha! They appeared magically. That was not editing. That was real magic stuff from Magic Land. But if you see, this is the source of today's video, which is of course 4chan's V-board, and anyone who is like big brain mode and goes to 4chan knows you gotta take a lot of this stuff with speculation salt anyway, or at least with just a grain of just general salt, because 4chan is pretty crazy. I had to actually take down a previous video because there's a couple comments I missed that had some bad words in it that would have been bad times for my channel's monetization practices, so I had to blur those out. I'm gonna be more careful in today's video. 4chan, I learned my lessons, you degenerates. But you can see right here, this leak was posted by the anonymous 4chan account by Todd Howard. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Don't quote me on that. That was a joke.
Yeah, that's a little joke.
But the source is, according to this random person, is someone who is working on the media and marketing division of Xbox, and they're working on the E3 presentations as well. And the Bethesda presentation is separate and done by their department, but approved by Microsoft. And real quick, all this actually makes sense. I can confirm that Microsoft is working with its first-party studios and companies on making the E3 presentation for sure. I can 100% confirm that from my own sources. However, it does kind of make sense that Microsoft would want to approve it and maybe even have it done in this media marketing division office, even though it's Bethesda's going to be helping do it or design it or whatever. Like I said in previous videos, Microsoft would be floating the bill probably for this because Bethesda is one of their studios now. However, Bethesda probably will still design the entire thing and plan out what they want to show and stuff like that. Microsoft apparently is still going to approve it. I don't know if that's just because Microsoft is going to be like that, or if that's just the general corporate ladder structure, and hopefully Bethesda can get ladders working in their games as I karate chop the air. But the leak continues by saying this is what Bethesda is going to show, and then they show Microsoft too, so we'll go through that as well. But at the Bethesda showcase at E3 2021, according to this person, Machine Games will have Wolfenstein 3, and that's actually a lot more possible than people might think. Yes, Machine Games is working on the Indiana Jones game with Todd Howard. However, we don't know when that game is going to come out. It could be like years from now. They could have been working on Wolfenstein 3 this entire time, and when they announce Wolfenstein 3 this year and release it at some point soon, they shift over to Indiana Jones. But Wolfenstein 3 is definitely possible. Pete Hines and other Bethesda developers have definitely said they're going to make a Wolfenstein 3. They just didn't give a timeline yet, and I believe Wolfenstein 3 has been in development for some time. They continue on by saying Arcane Studios will have a Deathloop presentation with mention of Game Pass day one for PC, not Xbox because of the deal with PlayStation speculation, and Arcane Austin's next game will be teased via a CGI trailer, and I believe that next game will be Spy Team. Look at my finger! Because Arcane Austin was actually Battlecry Studios previously, and they were working on an online, like, I believe, hero arena-based shooter thing, and Spy Team kind of seems like it might be that kind of, but what else would Spy Team be? Spy Team is a definite game that is trademarked by Bethesda and should be announced at some point soon along with Giant Monster News. I don't know what soon means, but it makes sense for there to be a big Deathloop presentation at E3 this year, and for it to be on Game Pass as well, even though it is exclusive for 1 year to the PlayStation, but that's just a console exclusivity. PC always kind of eludes these things for the most part, unless it's just a true console exclusive game like The Last of Us or something. But they continue on by saying Ghostwire Tokyo will have a Game Pass Day 1 too, so I mean that kind of makes sense for the same reasons, and it makes sense for Ghostwire to also be at E3 this year. And then they continue on by saying ZeniMax Online Studios, or ZOS, will have a new contact for The Elder Scrolls Online. What does that mean? A new contact? New contact lenses? New contractual obligations? What's happening? What's happening with that? I don't know what that means. Maybe they mean like The Elder Scrolls Online is going to get a renewed contract and will be around for another 10 years. I don't really know what that means, and I feel at a loss here, and I wish I knew what it means. But also, there's going to be a teaser CGI for their next game, which is an original IP MMO with a superhero-based game, but not Marvel or DC. That's interesting, a superhero-based game from ZeniMax Online Studios. Wow, that would like surprise everyone, right? Imagine if that actually happened. That might not be a bad thing, but judging by different and recent job posting discoveries, vehicles are confirmed for this new game by ZeniMax Online Studios, and NPCs will use vehicles as well, and a lot of people, including myself, assume this might be some kind of like standalone but partnered Starfield MMO game set in the Starfield universe, but a totally separate game from the single player game. That's what it made. That's what made the most sense. But if they do something completely different and it's a whole new IP and it's a superhero game, that kind of makes me interested. I've been getting a lot more into superheroes lately. I've always been into the superhero thing, but I've kind of like not been as into it over the last few years, but like I've discovered Omni-Man now and I'm getting back into it again, so that might be hype. But totally unexpected, and in my opinion, this is one of the red flags here, because it makes a lot more sense for ZOS to make another online game that coincides with a Bethesda Game Studios single player game, because Elder Scrolls Online and The Elder Scrolls, so I mean if they're making a Starfield standalone MMO, that would make sense for the Starfield single player game and for both of them to come out around the same time, but who knows. This is just speculation here off this random post. And they continue on by saying Bethesda Game Studios Starfield will get a big showcase, aka Fallout 4, similar to the Fallout 4 one in 2015, and mobile companion game for it too, which I mean that's possible seeing how Fallout Shelter happened with Fallout 4, and there also will be a new CGI trailer for The Elder Scrolls 6 that'll help clear up all the speculation about the game's setting, but TED 6 is still going to be years away as well. Now that's crazy, right? Another Elder Scrolls 6 trailer, and one that actually gives us some more information about the game rather than just some mountains and stuff flying around. This could be a red flag, but the anomaly still exists that Bethesda Game Studios in 2018 showed us a trailer for Starfield, and then the Elder Scrolls 6 on top of that. So I mean, if they're showing a big Starfield showcase this year by that same exact logic, will we get another Elder Scrolls 6 trailer this year as well, and maybe like a Fallout 5 one or something? Probably not, and the reason is I believe that they showed us a Starfield and TED 6 trailer back in 2018 because they were making their first MMO online-only game ever, and they wanted the community to know that they're not stepping away from single-player games, and on top of that, their next single-player game after their first MMO only one was going to be Starfield, which is a new IP, so they wanted to take an even further step and show TES 6 to just cover all the bases and kind of calm the community down a bit from all their possible worries, which people still worried anyway, right? People still got tripped out over everything. But the thing is, are we going to get a repeat of that this year for the same reason? Because Starfield is a new IP and because people are dying for TES 6 information. Some people have asked me if we might get some Fallout 5 stuff this year for that same logic, and my answer to all that's probably not. TES 6 is the most possible scenario, but still a very small percentage. However, the anomaly still exists that 2018 and their teaser trailers happened, so that might set the precedent for the possibility of that to be a little bit more higher this year, but I still gotta say, we're probably just gonna get Starfield. They're gonna want to stick to just showing Starfield off as much as possible because it's a new IP, and they gotta introduce people to the universe and the lore and the setting and everything, so they're probably gonna be all focused on Starfield, and not the Elder Scrolls 6 or Fallout 5 or stuff like that, but yeah, this was the leak. I guess the rest of the Microsoft stuff is right here if you want to break it down. The most interesting things in this is Avowed will have an in-engine cinematic trailer, which is kind of cool, but it'll still be a cinematic. What does that mean? In-engine cinematic? I guess that means it's not gameplay. It's like the camera's controlled freeform for the purpose of recording the trailer footage, but I'm looking forward to seeing more Avowed stuff. We know Halo's gonna be there. That's just a given anyway. Apparently we're gonna get some Elden Ring stuff here, some Dragon Age 4 stuff here, Battlefield 6, which I can confirm Battlefield 6 should be shown off this year, just based on stuff I've heard internally and other leaks. But yeah, we're clicking away from the big bright light, from the big bright screen of 4chan, taking off the Daedra glasses and settling down, because that's basically the entirety of this leak. Now, my overall arcing opinion of this has to begin with what I usually always say about these leaks, especially these 4chan leaks. Take it with a grain of salt. Rub the salt into your face! Because most of the time, these leaks are fake, man. I've had some pretty credible stuff with footage and UI and stuff that looked really legit that still ended up being fake. However, there are still some possible truths to this leak. I believe we might get some Wolfenstein 3 stuff at E3 this year. I believe we will see the new ZeniMax Online Studios game, but I don't know if it's going to be a superhero one. If it is, we know this leak is legit. That's like the one thing that makes this leak stand out, is saying that the new game is going to be a superhero MMO. Nothing else has ever said that before. So if we do get some kind of new superhero MMO from ZeniMax Online Studios announced at E3 this year, this leak is true. But at that point, we already know everything this leak would be saying anyway. But still, as we get closer to E3 and June, we're probably going to get a ton more leaks like this. We might even get some more credible ones with like evidence to support it, and if more and more leaks tend to align with what this thing says, then we can know what to expect. But to be honest, I think it's pretty safe to say you should expect Starfield for sure. Out of everything out of this list, it's all speculative. Wolfenstein 3 is kind of possible, but Starfield I'm almost certain will be at E3 this year as well, which should follow up with a release in November this year, which means I need to fix my computer, because the one I'm running on now can't play Starfield. The one I was running on literally last week can do everything forever, but the GPU died, because stupid RTX 2080s. But either way, that's going to finish up everything I wanted to talk about in today's video. Like I said, take this leak with a grain of salt. It's raining outside. I don't know what that means in terms of my video, but if you enjoy the content, be sure to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn notifications on. As always, huge shout out and appreciation rainbow to these amazing people for going above and beyond to support the channel and bring you content like this. If you want to get a permanent future video shout out in every single one of my videos from this point forward, you can support the channel over on Ko-fi, Patreon, or here on YouTube as an exclusive channel member. You become a Skullzi Discord server VIP, you get a bunch of awesome and exclusive awards, and you can partake in the actual live stream on Saturday on the channel, where you can actually join in on the community live stream and talk for like 5 to 10 minutes, ask me questions, talk about whatever you want, shout out things. If you're a Skullzi VIP, you get to do that, and all you gotta do is support the channel. Links for all this and more are down in the description below, and as always,
it just works.